Is this man still in Hong Kong?
Well, I knew where he was yesterday and last week because I spent the best part of the week interviewing him. As of this morning, I'm not entirely sure where he is. I'm pretty sure he's still in Hong Kong. I roughly know the location, but I can't be 100% sure.
And do you think that he has done this from a balanced point of view? Many people in the US are going to be absolutely furious, saying he's put national security at risk here.
Well, he's very smart. He's an affable person, sort of modest, and he's thought this through. He's been planning this for a couple of years. He was initially going to do it in 2008, then he put it off because he thought Obama would make a difference. He's decided that Obama hasn't. So he's carefully prepared this. And on the issue of whether he's a criminal or a whistleblower, well, people have to look at it and decide for themselves. I tend towards the view that he's a whistleblower. He was inside the CIA, he was inside the National Security Agency, their equivalent of GCHQ, and he didn't like what he saw there.
Can I just ask you, you say that obviously you see him as a whistleblower, but is there not a huge question here about whether the Guardian newspaper should have leaked this information at all? You know, are you comfortable facing the relatives of people who were killed or injured in the Boston bombings and saying, you know, that security around the world is strengthened today as a result of this story?
Well, there's about sort of half a dozen issues raised in that question. The stuff that we leaked, we've got quite a lot of material, but we've been very careful and selective and not put out anything that we think would risk the security services. We've focused just on the big story that, you know, I think most journalists should be concerned about, which is. But
he has told you more information, has he? And he obviously has potentially a lot more that he could reveal. Is that likely to come out now?
I think it's still possible. We have to make a decision about that. To go back to your question, though, I mean, there's this balance between overarching state surveillance and, which you could argue sort of about security, and privacy. For me, the threat posed by Al Qaeda since 9/11 seems sort of fairly minor. I mean, there's been no major attacks on the US mainland, and yet there's been huge growth in the surveillance state, and this is what Edward Snowden was concerned about. And
well, can I just say, many people are going to pick you up on that because the number of terror attacks globally is still pretty huge. What is Edward Snowden's plan now? Does he expect to stay in Hong Kong, or is he going to try and go to somewhere like Iceland?
Well, he doesn't know, and it's part of his sort of courage that as soon as he went, well, he opted not to remain anonymous, so that took courage, and having coming out, he knows that his life is effectively over, as it was. He knows that, you know, one of the likeliest options is that he could be extradited to the States and face the rest of his life in prison.
What sort of level of family and friends does he have in the US? Is he worried about them?
That's his biggest concern, that they will now be intimidated and face harassment as a result of what he's done. I mean, his girlfriend was in Hawaii. She's gone back to the US. His family's in the US. And that's what is causing him the most concern. And
you said that there is more material that you might publish. Is that something that you've already recorded in interviews? Because in today's Guardian, you know, he says that he has a lot of information that he's not going to reveal. So what is the state of that?
What he meant was he admitted with Bradley Manning in the WikiLeaks case. Bradley Manning just put out a whole splurge of information. Manning, I don't think, was aware of it. I had read all of it. Edward Snowden's been more selective. He didn't choose stories which he thought would cause damage to individual agents or cause damage to the US. Instead, he's been fairly selective in what he's leaked.
But you've got more to come out?
We have. Whether we report it or not, we'll have to make a strategic decision on that.